I'm just acting Chicallywood.
I attempted to shoot my first feature film.
How was it?
You know what? I know it was an amazing feeling. So
Yeah.
I did 2 trips,
Okay.
7 to 8 days of filming.
Okay.
We got 80% filmed, but unfortunately, that project has to be shelved.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's okay though.
Yeah.
It was a learning experience.
Nice.
It was a loss as well, but the learning experience is worth it because I taught myself something that I've seen happen. I watch my friends do it. Shout out to Sherelle Brown again. You know what I'm saying? I watch people around me who grew into these positions. So it was just like, yo, I could do this too.
Yeah.
So would I do it again? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Am I in a rush? No. Because I love acting. That was cool, and I will focus on that at some point because there's money in it, you know. But acting is my hobby, so.
So how important is social media for actors? Because I notice sometimes actors, they're very creative when they get into the scene of, yo, I'm about to get out here and get in this movie, and I'm about to basically do all these behind the scenes on my phone. But the thing is, it don't stop there because now you got to figure out a way to promote it. You got to figure out a way to. So how important is social media when it comes to doing your projects?
Social media is very important. Like, I know sometimes it can be a little discouraging. You post something and it only gets 2 likes.
Right.
You know, unless you got like a whole bunch of friends and stuff like that. But if people not really checking for all of the things that you working hard for, you know, you're going to have strangers will.
Right.
But, you know, you're going to experience that. So I think that's why a lot of people don't post their stuff as much. And if I can encourage them, you just do it.
Yeah.
Because you never know who's watching. You see the views, so don't pay attention to the likes.
Yeah.
And trust me, somebody has saved it, even if you can't see it like on Facebook and stuff. Like somebody has saved this to reference at a later date. So promote work and promote yourself.
Yeah.
And no matter how even if you're not a great actor, even if you got butterflies in your stomach right now as you're performing, still put your work out there.
Put it in,
Because what people like to see is you working. A lot of my opportunities came from work ethic.
Yeah.
Not because I auditioned and I nailed that audition. I was better than the other talent. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
There was way more better talent in the ruffle before I got chosen for the lead roles that I did get chosen for. But it was because I always promoted myself.
Okay.
I was always in their face.
Yeah.
So eventually,
This is
like,
true.
okay, let me go to her page.
Right.
Okay. I can see some potential in her. Let's see. Let me fish around about it. And people talk.
Yeah.
So they'll ask another director, how was your experience with that actor? And then word travels.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. And interesting enough, with that being said, how does Shantae deal with constructive criticism or criticism?
I love it.
Which one? Criticism or the constructive?
Both.
Okay.
Both. It gives me a chance to grow.
So let me put you through a scenario, right? Somebody, and this is, you see this so many times, somebody watches your Tubi movie and they say, nah, that's trash. I don't like that. How do you basically deal with that? Or you just ignore it? You say whatever?
I would never approach it on social media.
Yeah.
And that's mainly because I have a brand. I'm building it. I don't have an agent. I don't have nobody to protect me. So I have to protect me in the best way that I can. So I'll let it be. Now, if we in the Best of Tubi group and it's my peers and they going down the timeline, when I first started, I won't lie to you, I would coming back if people would say stuff about me. Oh my God. But I had to learn quickly. You know, that was like 2022. I had to learn very quickly, like, okay, you're right. You should feel this way.
Yeah.
But everything don't need a response, Shantae.
Yeah.
Let the people have their opinion. They watched it, right?
Right.
And they remember your face, so the next time they watch your movie, they're gonna be like, that's the girl from that other movie. Remember Diary of a Unicorn?
Yeah.
And so word travels, you know? And that I'm building a brand. So I wouldn't give it too much energy on the internet.
I feel you. And it's great that you spoke on brand. What would you say your brand is? I'll give you an example. For example, if I tell you right now, Kevin Hart is going to do a movie, without even seeing it, we can automatically just imagine that it's going to be like a funny, kind of goofy little movie or whatever. It's going to be great, but it's going to probably be him doing some type of comedy or something physical of that sort. So we know his brand. So The Rock, if I know for a fact I want to get somebody beating up a bunch of people, all this other stuff like that, we know that brand instantly. So would you say your brand is mostly kind of like right now, you have this kind of like elegant, I'm just like kind of elegant, or I'm kind of like, I'm popping off? Like,
I would like to say that I would like to think that I show a little range. Like I've allowed people to see me be a softer Shantae. Like technically when I talk, I'm very direct. Yeah. But a lot of these roles, when you playing someone's girlfriend or husband on camera, and you ain't got no boyfriend and no husband, I'm acting, Yeah. So I have a chance to be vulnerable. But my favorite type of role is my hardcore roles, like Vindictive, where I get to be a little bit rough around it.
I've seen some of, I've seen you in some of them. Okay.
Yeah, and those you guys are gonna start seeing a lot of that this year, because a lot of the projects that have come across my table, I ain't signed no contracts yet, so I can't speak on them. So. But those projects are a little where I get to be in my gangster, personality. But I want people to know I can do it all, And so that's what my brand is. I want it to be a powerful, dynamic actor with range. Nice. And that may sound like a fairy tale, but that's my goal. No, and I don't plan on stopping.
That's your truth, and that's super dope, because that's the confidence that I want people, when you guys watch this and you see her, and the fact of the matter, you're just starting out, this is somebody that's like, yo, that confidence is key. You know what I'm saying? Because let's be realistic, like, nobody wants to work with somebody that doesn't feel like they can do it. Yeah. Because that's not a fun story to even talk about. Like, I did this film, but I wasn't too confident about it. Nobody even wants to hear that.
You can see it on camera, too.
Yeah.
When an actor isn't confident, you can see it. Mm-hmm. The other people in that scene outshine them. Mm. And that's how but it gives you a chance to grow. I've been that person. Antoine Goldmeyer is the first person that ever found me on an Empire set. So being background, I wasn't even standing. Oh no, I had just started my first year of standing in. So I was in front of the background. This gave him a chance to see me. Okay. And he was a director.
So let me ask you this. How important is IMDb credit?
Oh my God, very much. That's your resume.
Yeah.
If someone was to Google you, that's the first thing that'll pop up if you have one. Yeah. So if you're gonna pay for anything, pay for that. Yeah. If Actors Access, those type of sites, I actually don't have one, and I'm a fool to not have one.
IMDb or
Actors Access.
Okay.
Oh, okay. IMDb, of course, I have that. That's my official resume. That's how people find me.
Gotcha.
From my IMDb, but Actors Access is like equally the same. Like those casting sites, a lot of these opportunities that I'm privy to, you find them on there. I had no idea.
Really? Because I'm still learning. So IMDb is extremely important.
Very much.
And Actors Access.
That's one of a few.
Yeah.
But that one is the one that I always hear amongst people that find really good opportunities where they're getting paid.
Yeah. So So is it anybody can just join, or is it a situation where like you got to put in some work and then you can join?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anybody can join, just got to pay.
Yeah.
It's a good place for you as a director too.
Yeah, to work with a lot more. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's super dope.
Yeah,
we
actors
learning
from all over the world that's gonna submit to you.
See, this is what I'm talking about. We getting some information. See, this is what's about on Acting Chicallywood. She dropping them jewels.
Mm-hmm. And I think from your angle, you'll be able to even pin it down to what you're looking for, and you can find them. You can shoot those actors emails straight from there, and that's the best place to have a professional conversation. Going back to what you said earlier. Okay. That's the best place to have a. It's not the same as like sending somebody a message on Facebook. Like that could be a little that there's a thin line there. Yeah. So I get it from a male, especially from a male director's perspective. Okay.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. So my next question for you is, how do you navigate this business, man? Being a woman, how do you deal with the hate? How do you deal with jealousy?
I'm just acting Chicallywood.